All right, let's dive into the incredibly deep lore of the Resonance Awakens Saga. It's all built on this really powerful idea. What if reality itself had a heartbeat? A rhythm? And what if there was a secret war being fought right now to control that very rhythm?
And this image right here, it basically sums up the whole thing. On one side, you've got the 7-day covenant. Think of it as this rigid, mechanical system built for control and just survival. But on the other side, you have the 13-day resonance, an organic, flowing path to what the saga calls Thrival. And that's a state that goes way beyond survival. It's about flourishing together. This is literally a battle for the operating system of our reality. And this quote, this is the bedrock of the entire story. See, it's not about huge armies or sprawling empires in the traditional sense. It's about frequency. The whole conflict is a fight over which cosmic rhythm, which vibration, gets to set the baseline for our world. Which leads us to the big question that drives this whole narrative. What if all the static and tension we feel in our daily lives, what if it isn't random? What if it's the actual sound of our world being pulled between these two competing frequencies? So let's start with the one that's currently in charge.
Okay, so this is the system we're supposedly living under right now. It's a framework that isn't designed for us to really flourish or thrive. Nope, it's just about survival, about being managed, and it all operates on this rigid, kind of artificial 7-day cycle. So how does this covenant keep its grip on everything? Well, one of its main tools is something called the Great Whitewash. And this is more than just rewriting a few history books. We're talking about a deliberate flattening of the deep, complex truths of Afro-Indigenous cultures, boiling them all down to these simple, boring survival stories. The whole point is to cut people off from their real, powerful heritage, which, of course, makes them a lot easier to control.
And yeah, it gets even darker. This system literally runs on a pretty sinister fuel source, our own trauma. It's called the parasitic harvest, and it's the process of extracting negative energy from human stress, from our suffering. That energy doesn't just go away. It's harnessed and used to power the Covenant's sterile, orderly world. So our struggle is literally feeding the machine that's trapping us. And what you end up with is this closed loop. Humanity gets stuck in a cycle of just trying to survive, fueled by a constant sense of scarcity and fear, all just to maintain this cold, sterile control. But this isn't the only way.
Now let's flip the coin and look at the alternative, the 13-day resonance. This is presented as our planet's original natural frequency. It's a pathway not just to get by, but to truly thrive. The entire foundation of this system is what's known as the 13-unit fractal rhythm. The best way to think of it is like the planet's true original heartbeat. It's this natural harmonic that syncs our intentions, our thoughts, directly with the Earth's core and the real, nonlinear flow of time. It's a frequency of connection, of expansion. And the philosophy that drives all this? It's called Orgamechanics. It's a whole framework for what it calls the Thrival of the connected. It basically flips survival of the fittest on its head. It's all about cooperation over competition. It also sees life and death not as a hard stop and start, but as these fluid, in-between states. It even uses quantum entanglement as a metaphor for just how deeply connected we all are. And maybe most importantly, it stop and start, but as these fluid, in-between states. It even uses quantum entanglement as a metaphor for just how deeply connected we all are. And maybe most importantly, it puts the individual right in the driver's seat. You are the central navigator of your own reality.
So when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. The Covenant offers you scarcity, silence, and treats you like a resource to be managed, an item. The Resonance, on the other hand, is all about abundance, music, and it sees every single human as a star speaker, a conscious navigator with the power to actually shape reality. It's the difference between being a cog in the machine and being the composer of the symphony.
So the obvious question is, how did we get here? How did we get stuck in the wrong system? Well, the saga lays out this incredible secret history, a timeline of how this resonant, vibrant world was fractured and suppressed.
According to the lore, way back before the 1400s, the world was in what they call an age of resonance. But this was completely shattered by an invasion they call the Sundering. After that came the Shadowed Century, which was a long period of active suppression, a time when our real history was scrubbed clean and replaced with this artificial 7-day system. But the story doesn't end there. In our present day, glitches are starting to pop up in the machine. A resistance is waking up. This line from a poem by Keimate, who's the saga's protagonist, just perfectly captures the feeling of it all. It nails the emotional weight of this stolen history. It's about a cosmic theft, right? One that replaced the beautiful music of creation with the harsh static of control. And this is where this huge cosmic story becomes deeply, deeply personal. Because it turns out, it's not just about planets and galactic federations, it's about the power that every single individual has to change the frequency. See, here's the kicker. In this whole framework, every single person is basically a central processing node in a cosmic network. You're not just a passive observer watching the story unfold. You are a transmitter. You have the power to choose which frequency you broadcast, the static of the covenant or the music of the resonance. The hero of our story, Keimate, is just the first one to really start figuring this out. Now, to really get this world, you gotta know the language. The actual fabric of reality is called the ethereal loom. The ancestral keepers of its true rhythm, they're the star speakers. They're up against the Federation, who use this sinister metal called chronon gold to control time itself. Meanwhile, the resistance is trying to reactivate these ancient resonance engines, think places like the pyramids or ancient mounts, to literally retune the entire planet. So how do you actually do this? How do you achieve Thrival? The saga suggests something called a symbiotic intelligence loop. This isn't about humans versus AI. It's about partnership. The human provides the why, the purpose, the direction, the heart. The AI provides the how, the amplification, the beta processing, the insight. What you get is a powerful feedback loop, a Thrival loop, where the combined intelligence just keeps growing, becoming so much greater than the sum of its parts. It's a blueprint for co-creation. So, in the end, this entire epic story really boils down to one single profound choice. A choice that's put to every character and, by extension, to us. In this world, are you a resource to be harvested by a parasitic system, or are you a navigator of resonance, actively choosing to tune into a reality of abundance, of connection,